Hello and a very good evening and welcome to the news live on Channel I.
I'm Shanika Pereira.
And I'm Faisal Bongzo. We begin with the headlines of tonight's news. The possibility of importing crude oil from Azerbaijan is being explored. The Defense Secretary has emphasized the importance of cooperation among intelligence units for national and regional security. It has been confirmed that Prince Charles will attend the Commonwealth Heads of Governments meeting in Colombo. Sluice gates of several reservoirs have been opened. The death toll from the building that collapsed in Bangladesh has increased to 700.
Now for a look at those and other stories in detail. Attention has been focused on importing crude oil from Azerbaijan. President Mahinda Rajapaksa discussed this matter with the Azerbaijan Foreign Minister Elmar Mamderov, who is on a visit to Sri Lanka at Temple Trees yesterday. Due to the sanctions imposed by the United States, several countries that imported oil from Iran faced difficulties. About 90% of our oil requirements are imported from Iran. The Azerbaijan Foreign Minister has told the President that they are ready to hold discussions about supplying oil to Sri Lanka from Azerbaijan. Azerbaijan, which was a state under the Soviet Union, is now a free country and is a non-permanent member of the UN Security Council at present. The President pointed out that Azerbaijan is supporting Sri Lanka uninterruptedly in the international arena and requested the Foreign Minister to encourage Azerbaijan investors to invest in projects in Sri Lanka. The non-resident ambassador of Azerbaijan to Sri Lanka, Ibrahim Hajiev, Minister of External Affairs Professor Gio Piris, Secretary to the President Lalit Viratunga and the Acting Secretary to the Foreign Ministry Mrs. Shenuka Senviratne also attended the discussions.
And in other news, Prince Charles is to represent Queen Elizabeth at the Commonwealth Heads of Government meeting to be held in Sri Lanka in November this year. Queen Elizabeth, who is 87 years, is the head of the Commonwealth. The Heads of the Commonwealth Government's meeting is held every 2 years to discuss global issues. The spokesman of Buckingham Palace has informed that they have taken this decision after reviewing the long haul of travel that has to be undertaken by the Queen. The spokesman has said that Prince Charles, representing the Queen at the summit, is a symbolic move for transition.
Sluice gates of several reservoirs have been opened due to heavy rains experienced in several parts of the country. The Met Department informed that heavy rains could be experienced within the next few days as well. All 10 sluice gates of the Parakram Samudra in Polonnaruwa were opened today. The water levels of the reservoirs has increased up to 112,000 acre-feet. Many small reservoirs fed by the Parakram Samudra have also reached spill levels. 2 sluice gates of the Lunukamvera reservoir were opened 4 inches this morning. The engineers in charge of the reservoir request the people in the lower embankments of the Kirindi Oya to be cautious about possible flash floods. Colombo district recorded the highest rainfall yesterday evening of 134 millimeters. The Colombo Fort area alone received 197 millimeters of rain. Due to this situation, there were floods in many areas around Colombo. Gampaha, Kaluthara and Monaragala districts and the northern areas have also received heavy rains. The Disaster Management Center informs that 12,672 persons belonging to 61,000 families have been affected in the Colombo district due to the unfavorable weather situation. The Met Department informs that heavy showers could be experienced within the next few days due to heavy winds coming from the northern and southern areas. The Met Department says that there is no truth in rumours being spread that there could be storms in Sri Lanka within the next few days. The Director of the Met Department, S.R. Jayasekara, said that there will be no impact of a storm within the next few days. However, the low pressure situation could create some disturbances. The rain is caused due to this turbulent situation. The Met Department informed that due to the atmospheric conditions prevailing at present, there could be a sudden change of weather conditions. The Director of the Met Department, S.R. Jayasekara, said that there will be lightning and heavy winds during the prevailing rainy situation. People should be cautious about the possible lightning effects.
A special circular will be issued to obtain assistance from the district development committees to prevent the dengue epidemic. The Health Ministry informs that this circular will be issued to the district secretaries by the Ministry of Public Administration and Home Affairs. The objective of this measure is to sternly control the spread of mosquito breeding during the next 2 months, as there is a possibility of the dengue epidemic spreading due to the rainy atmosphere. Special mosquito control programs will be implemented with the assistance of the police, the government institutions and schools during the next 4 months. Meanwhile, 11,000 dengue patients have been identified in 50 public health officer divisions in 10 districts. 34 persons from them died. The majority of patients, amounting to more than 5,000, was reported from the Western province. The Health Ministry has launched a special program to control dengue throughout the country within the next 2 months. The Ministry has also decided to reactivate the programs implemented by government institutions, the police and schools. A discussion in this connection was held in Colombo today under the chairmanship of the Minister of Health, Maithripala Sirisena. The officials of the Epidemic Diseases Prevention Unit, the Colombo Municipal Council, the Police, Environmental Division, also public health inspectors and other relevant departments attended the meeting. The government expects extensive cooperation from the general public for this dengue prevention program.
Defence Secretary Gotabaya Rajapaksa has emphasized that it is essential to have cooperation among intelligence units for national and regional security. He has warned that the terrorist organizations could select any country in the region to achieve their goals. The Defence Secretary Gotabaya Rajapaksa made these comments delivering the keynote address of the joint workshop of the Bay of Bengal Initiative for Multi-Sec Oral, Technical and Economic Cooperation Organization, known as the BIMSTEC organization. The BIMSTEC was established in Bangkok in the year 1997. Bangladesh, Myanmar, Bhutan, India, Nepal, Sri Lanka and Thailand are member countries of this organization. The theme of the address was Repeat Terrorism and Crimes Beyond National Levels.
The most important tool that nations have at their disposal in countering these threats is intelligence. For intelligence to be more effective, however, it needs to be shared amongst nations. It is also very important to realize that few of the serious threats nations face in today's environment are truly localized. Terrorism, human trafficking, narcotics, drug smuggling and the illegal financial transactions that support all these activities are not confined to one nation but take place within several nations and across national borders. For example, when the Liberation Tigers of Tamil LTTE was engaging in ruthless terrorism activities in Sri Lanka, it raised funds abroad and used agents in various parts of the world to smuggle arms, ammunition and heavy weaponry to Sri Lanka through the sea. Even after the end of the war, the rump of the LTT organization is still engaged in raising funds and trying to regroup in order to destabilize Sri Lanka through various means. These elements have even gone to the extent of providing arms training abroad to LTT cadres in recent times. Because of the effective cooperation between intelligence agencies, however, we were able to identify and stop these developments in their early stages. This is an example of how enhanced cooperation between intelligence agencies is essential for maintaining national and regional security.
You're watching the news live on Channel I. A no-confidence motion submitted to Parliament by the United National Party against Minister Dilan Pereira has been defeated by a majority. 136 members voted against the motion and 32 members voted in support of the motion. The United National Party and the Democratic National Alliance voted in support of the motion. UNP parliamentarian Ajit Pereira said that the government failed to provide any support to Rizana, and due to this she had to die untimely. Therefore, they have no confidence that Minister Dilan Pereira can function as the Minister of Foreign Employment, Development and Welfare. He further added that hence they are moving a no-confidence motion against the minister. Meanwhile, Minister Nimal Siripala de Silva said that in this connection President Mahinda Rajapaksa used all his functions and explored the relationship he had with various people, including the King of Saudi Arabia. But even the King could not do anything because of the Sharia laws prevailing in Saudi Arabia. He further added that a pardon could not be obtained without the consent of the parents of the child. The minister pointed out meanwhile that if someone kills a person by driving a vehicle without a license, the opposition members will also bring a no-confidence motion against the Minister of Transport for that crime. He also pointed out that if a child dies due to the fault of a doctor, they will also bring a no-confidence motion against the Minister of Health. The minister said that this is the pathetic situation faced by the opposition today.
Sri Lanka has become a popular destination among Israeli tourists. In an exclusive interview with RupEng-News, the Israeli ambassador to Sri Lanka, Alon Ushbis, said that there are many reasons for it.
I can tell you, based on conversations I had with Sri Lankan officials, that Sri Lankan workers enjoy very much their stay in Israel. Israel is a very open society, is a very warm society. So I know that many of these people have some kind of developed in the course of these months and some kind of an emotional attachment between them and their employers. So, you know, Sri Lankan workers enjoy the benefits of the Israeli market. I have no doubt that the Israeli employers enjoy the skills, the dedication, the very hard-working mentality of Sri Lankan workers, and I don't see any reason why not to continue with this arrangement between the two governments.
Yet with local news, President Mahinda Rajapaksa declared open today the 5-storied new building for the Bribery and Corruption Investigation Commission. 150 million rupees has been spent for the construction of this building. Due to the lack of sufficient space in the former building, the commission activities were restricted to a certain extent. The foundation stone for the new building was laid in August 2011. The construction work was carried out by the Central Advisory Bureau for Engineering Services. The Bribery Commission was started under Act number 11 of 1954. It was transformed as the Bribery or Corruption Investigation Commission by Act number 19 of 1994. The objective of establishing the commission was to build a country devoid of bribery and corruption. The chairman of the commission, DJDS Balapatabandi, said that funds could be used for the development of the country and they are being wasted to a large extent through bribery and corruption. He further added that in order to prevent these malpractices, the commission is dedicated to serve the country round the clock. He said that it was alleged that the commission is only catching sprats instead of catching sharks and whales. The commissioner said that even this opinion has now been changed. He said the commission takes action against those indulged in offering bribes or those corrupt, irrespective of the position being held by the wrongdoers. The Chief Justice, Mohan Paris, Attorney General, Palita Fernando, and the Director of the Commission, Mrs. Lakshmi Jaya Vikrama, and several others attended the function.
The Sri Lanka Transport Board has introduced a new electronic card to replace the monthly season tickets issued to students. As a pilot project, 86 students were issued with the electronic card today. About 300,000 students are using season tickets. The SLTB only charges 10% of the normal fare for these season tickets. 55% of the cost is provided by the government. The decision to issue the electronic card has been made due to discoloring of the season tickets. The SLTB, in collaboration with Dialogue, has made arrangements to renew the computer-based electronic card monthly. The inaugural function of this scheme was held at the Ratnaveli Balika Vidyalaya in Colombo today. Minister Kumar Wagama and several others attended the inaugural function.
And in other news, Minister Basil Rajapaksa has said that the historical friendship between Sri Lanka and India cannot be impaired by anyone. He said that the religious, social and political relationship between the two countries has been further strengthened, and this is through bilateral relations. The minister made these comments participating at a function held for the commissioning of the fruit drinks plant established by the Indian company Dabur Lanka Private Limited in Kotadeniava in Divulapitiya. This is a project approved by the Board of Investments. 2,000 million rupees has been invested for this plant. Minister Basil Rajapaksa said that India is the leading country that has invested in Sri Lanka. Similarly, it is also from India that we get the highest number of tourists. The minister also added that even in respect of our trade activities, India occupies a top slot. The former Indian High Commissioner in Sri Lanka, Ashok K. Kant, the chairman of the Dabur Lanka Private Limited, Dr. Anand Berman, and several others attended the function.
Sri Lanka and Germany mark the 60th anniversary of diplomatic relations. The Federal Republic of Germany is the leading economy of the European Union. Germany, as the Eurozone leader, is looking forward to enhance its relations with Sri Lanka, especially in the trade and investment zones. A high-ranking German investment delegation is to visit Sri Lanka in this connection in October this year. This has been stated by the German ambassador in Sri Lanka, Dr. Jürgen Mohad, when he met Minister of Industry and Commerce Rishad Badruddin at his ministry recently. Germany ranked as the 6th exporting partner of Sri Lanka last year, representing 4.8% of Sri Lanka's exports, which amounted to $459.9 million.
The Minister of Education, Bandula Gunawardena, has emphasized that the provision of human resources required by the job market should be provided by the education sector. A major role in this connection rests with the parents and teachers. The minister has pointed out that the mechanism for the purpose exists in the Mahinda Chintana. The minister has made these comments addressing a function held at the BMICH yesterday. At this function, 2,750 diploma holders of National Teaching Science was awarded certificates. Those who have studied 25 courses from 2007 to 2011 received certificates. These certificate holders will be employed in service in national and secondary schools. The minister said the responsibility of reducing human resources, which is a capital for the country, rests with the teachers. Meanwhile, the first batch of National Business Management Institution students received their degrees yesterday. The function in this connection was held under the chairmanship of Minister Dallas Alaperma. 23 graduates received their degrees. The monitoring MP for Education, Mohanlal Grado, also attended the function.
It has been alleged that Azad Salih, who is under custody now, was attempting to impair unity among the people and within the Muslim population. Even the Tiger terrorist organization in its initial stages indulged in this kind of activities. Due to the silent policy adopted by the government, which was in power at that time, it expanded as the most ruthless terrorist organization in the world. This was pointed out by the Director General of the Media Center for National Security, Lakshman Hulugala. Mr. Azad Salih has committed several crimes under Clause 120 of the Penal Code. He has incited or attempted to incite people against the Sri Lankan government. He has issued statements to create opposition or displeasure among the people. Charges against Azad Salih has been made for issuing statements aimed at developing disunity among the people and to exaggerate such disunity. Before he was taken into custody, he had been requested orally and in writing to come to the Criminal Investigation Department. Instead of visiting the CID as requested, he had been hiding in a house in the Polonnaruwa area when he was taken into custody on Thursday. The Director General of the Media Center for National Security, Lakshman Hulugala, said that the government will not hesitate to implement law and order against anyone who acts in a manner to create disunity among the communities.
Meanwhile, Prime Minister D.M. Jayaratne told Parliament today that Azad Salih has been taken into custody for violating the Penal Code of Sri Lanka. He has attempted to espouse communalism in Sri Lanka. The Prime Minister made these comments in response to a question raised by the opposition leader Ranil Wickremesinghe. The opposition leader Ranil Wickremesinghe questioned why action has been taken against Azad Saleh under the Terrorism Prevention Act instead of taking action under the normal laws of the country. Meanwhile, Prime Minister D.M. Jayaratne said that Azad Saleh, in an interview with the Junior Vigatan magazine published in India, said that the Muslims of this country have no other option but to take up arms. He was taken into custody on the 2nd of May for violating the law under Section 120 of the Penal Code. The opposition leader Ranil Wickremesinghe meanwhile asked whether the Terrorism Prevention Act will be abolished. And Prime Minister D.M. Jayaratne emphasized that it is a responsibility of the government to take action under the Prevention of Terrorism Act against people or organizations espousing communalism and extremism directly or indirectly, and those who pose a threat to peace and harmony among communities.
Deputy Minister S.M. Chandrasena has said that the former President, Mrs. Chandrika Kumaratunga, speaking about abolishing of the post of executive presidency is hilarious. He points out that if she had any real intention of abolishing the executive presidency, she could have done so while she was holding that post. The minister made these comments in response to statements that have been made by former President Mrs. Chandrika Kumaratunga to media institutions. Deputy Minister S.M. Chandrasena said that the former president had told the media that whether the person holding the post of executive presidency is a good person or a bad person, the system is not suitable. Although she says that the system is not good, she remained in it for 12 years. People have not forgotten this factor. The Deputy Minister said that politics should not be made a laughing matter. He has requested the former president not to belittle the post she held for 12 years. He said that they are requesting her not to attempt to disrupt the development process being implemented in the country through various conspiratory methods.
Well, that's it on the news. So along with Shanika and Shamindi, this is Faisal Bongzo signing off and reminding you that there will be more news tomorrow night at the same time. Have a wonderful day tomorrow.
Good night.